If you're building a business in your 40s or beyond and you're quietly wondering why it feels harder than it should, I want to tell you something up front. You're not late. You're just building a completely different way. I'm Summer Mulder and I've built multiple seven-figure companies, and I'm doing a rebuild myself, and I'm doing it in real time. This video is for the founders who look around and think, why is it taking me so long? I should be way further along than I am right now. Why does it feel so much harder for me than it looks for them? And if that thought has crossed your mind, stick around, this video is for you. For a long time, I put the wrong people on pedestals, not spiritually, but mentally. I constantly compared myself to where they were at. You know, the ones that flopped when they were 21 and then built an empire by the time they were 27. Why am I so behind? I would get so frustrated with myself. I treated specific entrepreneur certainty like it was scripture. I let their success be the measuring stick for my worth. And for years, I wondered why my path didn't look like that. And here's the part that I think rarely gets talked about. These founders were building at a point where they had the lowest responsibility of their lives. They weren't married, they didn't have kids, they didn't even have a mortgage to pay. So it was easy for them to go all in on the thing they wanted. They didn't have payrolls with families attached to it. They probably didn't even have aging parents to deal with. They built like they were sort of in a vacuum. And it's not wrong, it's just not universal. And it's definitely not the only way to build something meaningful. There's an invisible load that a lot of founder content on the internet doesn't really show. And it's those that are taking sales calls while they're breastfeeding in the parking lot trying to pick up their oldest child. It's those that are sitting outside of divorce court because they're navigating the breakup of a marriage. There's people that are trying to build while they've got their elderly parents living in their home. There's so many things that are going on that affect the attention that they can give. So now you put all of those things on top of the challenges that come with running a business, getting enough cash flow, having to manage payroll, making sure you have enough for payroll, managing teams, managing clients. It's a lot. That's the kind of weight that doesn't show up on a revenue chart, but it does change everything. And this is where the damage happens, because now we're comparing ourselves to somebody who's playing an entirely different game. They are doing sprints while you're really running a marathon. Then we tell ourselves the lie, I should be farther along by now. Farther along than who? Someone without kids, without debt, without a marriage, without a mortgage, without responsibilities? That's not logic. That's shame disguised as productivity. I was a pro at doing that until finally something shifted and I realized I'm actually not behind. I'm carrying something totally different than these people. And yet I still built, I still grew, I still created companies. I just did it with a constraint. There's a type of founder that becomes more dangerous with age. Not faster, not louder, but more precise, more skilled. It's that second act founder. It's the 40+ founder. This is the founder that had a full life before their real run. And this is the kind of depth that you cannot fake. Depth through failure, through loss, through consequence, and depth through survival. When you build later in life, you bring so much more. You bring sustainability because you don't have just quick wins. You're going through losses and failures. And if you stick with it, that is gold, because at that point, you're way further ahead than the other people who have quit because of that first failure. You've gone through so much, you've carried so much, and you're still in the game. And right there, that's what gets you to win it. Early success teaches speed. Later success teaches sustainability. One lasts longer. So if you're in your 40s or 50s and you're rebuilding or building again, you're not late. You're finally equipped. You're not competing with 27-year-olds. You're building something that they haven't lived long enough to understand yet. Once you realize that, the pressure eases. You stop forcing. You stop building with clarity instead of comparison. You start building with alignment instead of adrenaline. The most unstoppable founder isn't the overnight success. It's the one who survived the collapse and didn't die from it. It's the one who lost the thing that they feared the most, and they stop building from that fear and they start building from knowledge. If this resonated, I'm documenting my season of my own rebuild and the clarity that's come from it, and what I'm doing now in building a portfolio of companies and all of the systems that would have saved me way back when. And if you're curious about my own collapse, I talk about it in this video.